Coming up today on Ktown Social Club, President Trump wants to shut down USAID. Is it a good or bad thing? Is Kendrick Lamar a revolutionary rapper or an op working for the so-called deep state? Then Korean news, Korean American news, China news, all that coming up and more. From Koreatown, Los Angeles, thank you for tuning in to Ktown Social Club. For the issues you really care about. With Young Kim, David Yoon, Hajin Cho, Ed Choi, and I'm your host, Michael Kim. And with that, let's start the show. All right, and we're back with Ktown Social Club. Thank you all for tuning in. We just had a Super Bowl. How was it? Did you guys watch it?
I loved it. I'm more of a fan of Kendrick Lamar than ever.
Great. How about you, Ed? That looks like a football jersey.
Very interesting. Yeah, I grew up in Philadelphia, so.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Yeah.
You know, I'm friends with Eugene Chung. So remember the last Super Bowl the Eagles won? He was the head line coach for them.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, he was trying. The DEI thing was going, and then he was trying to get a position as a head coach. You know, that's the next thing that he wanted, right? And then someone from the NFL, an affiliate, said, "You're not the right minority."
Of course.
So it became a big thing for a little while. And I interviewed him and I tried to put it out and stuff. But when it comes to racial issues involving Asian Americans, no one gives a rat's ass. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
It was so sad. It pissed me off.
Yeah.
But you know, now he's like doing his own like social media thing right now.
Yeah.
So he started like putting like his training courses and little things that he does, like his workshops and stuff. And that thing's taken off. So good for him, man.
Yeah.
Eugene Chung, he was the first friggin' lineman in the NFL, a Korean guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Korean American dude.
Wow.
And he was with the New England Patriots when they totally sucked. Eugene, I love you, man.
Cool. Yeah.
nice.
Great, Eugene. So you watched the Super Bowl,
Of course.
and you watched it too, Ed.
Yeah.
And what was your Super Bowl party like?
Oh, I didn't. I was busy.
You were just watching it.
Yeah, I just watched it.
How about you, Young? You had a Super Bowl party, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have a friend in PV. They had a
Palos
little-
Verdes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice view. You could see downtown LA from there.
Very wealthy friend. Okay.
No, it's half of it sliding down, so you know I don't know how wealthy he's gonna be, but you know. But anyhow, we went over there. We just hung out, church buddy, and then we were watching the Super Bowl. All the ladies were there too, the wives, right? It was kind of funny when you go to like Korean church groups and stuff, right? And then right when you move in, it's like boom, they split into two. I do not fucking understand.
Right. So
I mean, not that like me and my wife get along, like not that we're like all lovey-dovey or anything, like we're all done, right? But the thing is that it just splits up, just right?
You mean husband and wives?
Yeah. And the girls are over there.
Yeah.
And the guys are over here.
Yeah.
So you guys
What,
eating the
co-ed or
same?
something? Like 1960s in Korea or what?
You guys eating the same finger foods? Like what'd you guys eat there? What did they watch the football game
I
too?
brought some Sinaloa tacos, man.
Sinaloa.
You know what? I want to give this place a shout out, dude. Everyone's talking about King Taco and El Torino and stuff, but they've gone downhill, especially King Taco. If you've ever gone to King Taco, it sucks, man. The meat is dry. They give you a little bit. They don't give you extra sauce. The tortilla's dry. It's like whack, right? But see, if you go to like Sinaloa, that's like that place was really good. I think it's one of the greatest.
Wait, Sinaloa?
Is it
or
better than
Sinaloa?
Sinaloa? Or
No. It's just called Sinaloa Taco.
Shin as in spicy?
Sina. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Sinaloa?
Fine, Sinaloa. Whatever,
Oh,
dude.
No, that's a Korean like hybrid because
Yeah, I thought Shin for spicy,
exactly.
right?
That's what I
I'm
thought.
sorry,
Sinaloa.
I haven't been in America long, so I don't know how to pronounce certain things. So I thought it was Sinaloa, right?
Yeah.
Sinaloa cartel, all right?
All right. What'd you do, David? I mean, my belief is that you didn't watch the Super Bowl at all.
No, I didn't even know the Super Bowl was happening until I saw memes about it.
What? 간첩이야, 간첩. You're a spy, a North Korean spy. Even a North Korean spy would know that was a Super Bowl going on.
They would know that.
Hey, you know, I didn't know it was a Super Bowl either until the morning of somebody posted
North Korean spy, as I said.
Yeah, that's like pretty on point for Los Angeles.
You think LA doesn't really care, right?
LA doesn't
really?
really watch sports.
I don't
That's
know.
the reason why we didn't even have a football team and no one cared for a while. Yeah.
But
Didn't
we care
we-
about the Raiders, I think.
We had the LA Raiders.
We did back in the day when we were young, but I don't think the adults ever did.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And then it became a fashion statement.
Anyway, yeah. So anyway, we all had a yours was busy though, but was it a good weekend?
Yeah.
Cool. You had a good weekend too?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean,
cool.
the Eagles won against Andy Reid, who did shit for the Eagles for decades. So fuck you, Andy Reid.
Oh, Taylor Swift got booed.
Football lingo.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm clueless.
All right. Congratulations to the who is it? Green Bay
Eagles.
Packers.
Eagles.
Oh, Eagles. Okay.
Horror. Dude, they totally they almost shut out the Chiefs. It was
a boring game, to be
very
honest with you.
one-sided.
Yeah.
You've never seen like Kansas City get destroyed like that. And the main reason was the line. The Philadelphia has an awesome line, which Eugene Chung helped to develop. Thank you very much. I think you should get some credit here.
Thank you, Mr. Chung. Please, join us on Ktown Social Club.
He will.
Where does he live?
Yeah, he lives in Virginia.
You can do a Zoom thing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he's a homie.
He lives near
anytime.
Arthur Kwan Lee. Maybe they know each other. Anyway. All right. So here's some quick headline updates. We just finished the fire thing. We've been getting some rain, but huge storms are about to hit Southern California. The heaviest is expected on Thursday. That's tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And it won't end until Friday afternoon or evening. So be prepared for that and possible thunderstorms. Also, the drug industry is having its own DeepSeek moment. So according to the Wall Street Journal, 30% of the world's drug licensing came from China last year. It includes cancer drugs, weight loss drugs. So it seems Chinese firms are innovating better drugs at a lower cost. So what could that mean for American consumers?
Well,
health
American
patients.
pharmaceutical companies, they're just totally out to rip off people. And this is the whole thing. I think it's a scam to get you sick and sell you medicine and shove it in your face and have the insurance companies cover it too.
That's what happened when Reagan privatized healthcare, which is why privatizing education is going to be worse.
So was it like was there universal health
It
care in
wasn't
America?
universal, but it wasn't privatized.
Yeah, I don't know much about that.
I don't know either.
What does that
but
mean?
I know Korea has an awesome system. So I know universal health care
it
works.
wasn't universal healthcare before Reagan, but it was more.
Not as horrible.
It
Not as
wasn't
horrible.
You know, like
Okay.
if they didn't give all that aid, like billions of dollars in aid, couldn't they just use that as universal health care for Americans? I mean, wouldn't that be
but
enough?
that could hurt the shareholders of,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, Korea
Or-
works.
was it?
Hey,
Yeah.
a foreigner can be in Korea and they could break an arm, like literally. He could be there for a week. He'll go to the hospital. They will treat him, cast him up, X-ray him, give him pills and whatnot, set the bone and all that stuff, right? Even surgery. He'll walk out with a bill no more than $100. I promise.
Yeah,
Even if
there's
he doesn't have insurance.
There's actually a trend of Americans going to Japan and Korea to do exactly that.
Those guys are fuckers, dude.
Because it costs I think $100 or $150 to get a full body scan.
Oh, yeah.
In the States would cost, I think, like $3,000 to $5,000. So the plane ride
Right,
there,
it's cheaper.
hotel,
Food.
and the $150 is cheaper than doing it here.
Yeah.
So it used to be last time before I came here in 2016, me and my wife we got a full checkup, including a sleep, that and all that stuff. We didn't get the but
Yeah. Whereas in here, it might take months. Whereas in Korea, you get your thing done, and then you have a follow up the next.
guess how much
day.
we paid?
I think they said $100.
No, it was
online.
$500 for everything.
really?
Because you're going to sleep and all that stuff. But,
without the sleep
you had a
stuff,
heart
yeah.
monitor, and they're doing the whole thing, right? And then Samsung, they have a special facility that specializes in that and only that. So they have friggin' sheiks from the Middle East coming in doing that, and it's like a whole systemized thing, one stop shop, boom, 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 and you're done.
Great.
Friggin' Korea, man.
Yeah.
All
$500.
right. Anyway, hoping that as more drugs come out of China, maybe they'll create some really good stuff that.
Yeah, but they're not going to sell it here. It's the same thing happened with the diabetes medication.
But they sell fentanyl
They
here.
immediately blocked it here in America, so you can't buy it here.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, we can always go to China and get some, huh? Anyway, let's see what this leads to over the next few years. Also, in other news, the U.S. Embassy in South Korea lowers the pride flag. So this was actually originally done in 2017
That looks
under
like, yeah.
Mark Lippert. Remember Ambassador Mark Lippert? Some guy slashed his face with a knife.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently he did this in 2017, which means it was done in January 2017, right before Trump came into office. But anyway, now there's going to be no more pride flags or BLM flags or anything like this, but just the U.S. flag. So there's that.
Fascism.
And then we talked about this earlier, but in South Korea, in the city of Daejeon, where I went in '95 for the expo, a teacher stabbed an 8-year-old student to death.
I've been watching that, and it's like really weird. What I understand that it's probably like mental health issue of the teacher, obviously, unless this is like a revenge motive.
No,
I don't know what the world is coming to.
Yeah, she had been she had got like a leave of absence for like mental health or something, and after like 20 days, a doctor said that she assessed her as being fit to work again. And and then I think the day before she stabbed this student, or even the morning of, she grabbed another teacher and like headlocked them or something. So I do believe it is a mental health issue here.
So this happened before, and they just returned her to work. And I mean, if that's the case, then I think when you look at like the history of the lady, how she took a 6 months absence and came back after a doctor clearance, if she starts acting up, getting violent, I think that's a warning.
It's supposed to be a 6-month absence, but she came back after 20 days.
Oh, okay. So she didn't take.
So the doctor
absence.
the doctor was like, you can work. So she went back to work.
So this is another gross negligence problem,
Possibly they're like, just go to work.
Korea's always had sort of 안전 불감증. I don't know how to describe that. It's like how do you describe 안전 불감증? They're a little bit
Safety.
yeah. So like a little bit immune to safety like protocol.
Mm-hmm.
So what usually happens is like there's an accident. And they always find that there was some protocol in the middle, like for example, maintenance protocols or schedule protocols, which weren't kept. It's a very Korean thing. It continues to happen, right? So I guess this is another failure in the protocol to weed out certain people with mental issues.
I mean, it sounds like it's the school and the teacher's fault.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously the doctor cleared them, but the school could have said
Right.
no.
Nah.
Well, I think the doctor
And
had
then
an
on the
issue too.
Well,
I
and then in
think.
the morning of when there was an incident, they could have been like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Go
no.
home. Go home.
Yeah.
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 So-
So after
So there
the
were warning signs,
after the attack on the coworker, she was made to sit beside the vice principal's desk.
Yeah,
It's
so,
like
it's,
a-
so,
it's
it's,
like a
so it's not
dunce
even
cap.
so
It's
it's not
like-
even like one of those things that happened in the break room and then they didn't find out about it until like the stabbing. They're like, oh shit, did you know that she also did this? The school knew.
I'm really not surprised.
It's their
I mean, when I was in Korea, this was happening all the time. There was like a fire that happened in Incheon. We actually wrote a song about it. And there were a bunch of kids that were just partying and drinking late at night. Somehow some kind of a safety issue happened. And it happened to be that certain safety protocols weren't met, and these kids ended up paying the final ultimate price for it.
Yeah. So anyway, it's too bad for the 8-year-old child. I believe she targeted the last student to leave.
It's terrible.
So it was just random.
Yeah, she didn't care which student it was. Let's see. Testimony went on to say the teacher did not care which child it was and targeted the last to leave. She managed to lure the child into the media room before attacking them.
Oh my god.
So,
And was it last year 2 teachers committed suicide because they were just getting berated by the parents?
oh, right. Yeah, some teachers committed suicide after the parents
Yeah.
were bullying
I
them.
mean, like the teacher situation.
Oh, bullying. There's another case
in
with
South
that, too.
Korean is just so bad.
Yeah, what's with the teacher? Yeah, teachers in Korea do get bullied a lot, huh?
Yeah, they're underpaid, but not only that, like the parents, like like back even up until my generation,
Teachers can't do nothing.
Parents respected the teachers.
Yeah, we
but
used to get
I
hit by
hear-
teachers.
But now, yeah, I got hit by teachers too in Korea.
Yeah.
But now it's like the opposite. Like, how dare you say that to my kid?
Yeah.
Shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's like more Americanized in that sense.
Well, I think
Which is
what happened is
bizarre.
like, it turns out that so many teachers are rich teachers, especially in like Gangnam area, and it's really bad over there because they have all these donations going around, and the teachers are completely at the mercy of the parents. So like, if there's one report of a parent going, "Oh, that teacher sucks," it's like,
They get fired.
I mean, they'll run in there and they'll like, bah,
Yeah.
I
berate
mean,
them.
honestly, good because the bullying of children in Korea is out of control. So that's
But-
the teacher's fault.
But the thing is, the bullying is often done by like rich kids.
True.
Well, that's kind of bullying. Yeah, that's bullying. That's moms bullying the teachers in
yeah.
a way. So like, I don't know, it's just really different, right? And then they don't know what, but they also went through a period where parents couldn't trust the teachers. So there was that, which
Yeah.
led to micromanaging from the parents.
Yeah.
Which led to parents like giving
Yeah.
gifts and donating stuff, and then which led to power.
Yeah.
You know how like I don't know when you're in Korea this happened, but like when I was a kid in Korea, the teachers for parent-teacher conference, they would come to our house. But in the U.S., that would never happen. I mean, can you imagine like your third grade teacher coming to your house?
But I remember like back then, a lot of teachers used to come to homes for parties, and
Right.
It's a very close relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
that's what I
now-
remember.
yeah.
Now, no way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Also, I want to note that in North Korea, it is extremely difficult to become a teacher. And like, if you do become a teacher, you're just like, you get the best apartments. You know, I'm talking like first grade teacher. I saw an interview on YouTube. It was like a lady talking about like she had to pass this test like 3 times. She failed twice and like finally got in. And it just feels like a society that doesn't value teachers and education. You see the results.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah, America.
You see the results.
America. You know what I noticed?
Out
like
in the streets, everywhere I go.
my kids have all these odd days off. You know, just out of the blue. It's like, well, development day. What do you mean development day? It's called, you know, we couldn't finalize this day with the union, so we decided it'll just be a day off and it'll be free hours. And what do you mean development day? That's total horse shit, dude. Teachers don't care anymore because they're not getting paid enough to care, you know, to be honest. And honestly, my daughter's in the dance program. Oh my God, it's just so much money, dude. It's just donation. We're paying. I'm out there flipping burgers, dude, at the wrestling tournaments and shit.
All right. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, what is it? Rest in peace and all that. So, and next story: anti-China sentiment grows among pro-Yoon supporters. We're talking about President Yoon Suk-yeol. Members of the ruling PPP have insisted on China's alleged involvement in election fraud. Do you know about this? Like, why do they think China wants to get involved in Korean elections?
Well,
What's in it for China?
Because traditionally, I think the left, the Democratic Party, they're tighter with the Chinese, like, you know, government and doing trade with the Chinese. It's more like North Korea, China, we all need to get together. Fuck America. A lot of them have that sentiment over there, especially the young people, you know. So they're talking when they're talking about like operational command control and stuff. They believe Koreans should have complete authority over it and such. And
Yeah, but why do the conservatives
Not want
say
that?
this is China that's
Well,
interfering with elections?
Well, because then China has closer ties with Korea, so more influence would go towards Chinese influence would be in Korea. So China would probably want the left to win.
Oh, so the Communist Party of China got involved in South Korean elections because they don't want the conservatives to win.
Probably. That's what I would admit. That's the only thing that I could think of. Because conservatives are all about, you know, USA.
So do the conservatives feel that influence from China is horrible, but they love American influence?
Yeah, like for example, when it's like THAAD, the conservative sentiment is like, yo, we got to have the THAAD. What are you talking about, you know? And then, you know, the left are usually on the side of like, yo, you know, that's bad. You know, we can't do that. Then we're going to ruin relations with China. America is trying to get in on our action. You know, they need to, you know, check themselves.
Right. And speaking of that, even in the United States, don't show this yet, but even in the United States, there are Korean American supporters of President Yoon Suk-yeol, and they've been showing up every Saturday, it seems, in Buena Park, Orange County, to protest his impeachment. So let's show this here. Looks like they show up and...
What a beautiful sight.
What is this?
Oh,
Well, I don't want to play the song, but
wait, that looks like that's in front of like,
Jack in the Box on Beach Boulevard.
yeah, near like H Mart and.
Yeah, it's near that main intersection. Yeah, it's right there. So
Oh God.
this is OC Mom, who's been on one of our programs. She was on Culture Shock with you. You interviewed her, right?
Yeah. She's one of the moms in Orange County who are not in favor of the education system or what they were teaching over there. So she kind of took it amongst herself to homeschool her kids, and then she kind of has a program to help people who are interested in homeschooling their kids start.
Okay, so that has nothing to do with China, or maybe China's behind that too. Maybe.
I don't like, come on. I hear some of this shit. I'm just kind of like, dude, you know, a lot of it's far fetched, to be honest. you know?
Anyway, this Friday at the Orange County, there again, they're going to do another one of these protests, and Young and I.
Friday?
I mean Saturday. Shit, I'm so like Friday's Young's birthday, but
Oh, cool. Happy early birthday.
yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. But Saturday, Young and I are going to go to Orange County to interview some of these people. So he'll do the Korean interviews and I'll do the English interviews. And we're going to try to find out what it is.
Sorry, I'm gonna paint a takoki on my face. Just play.
I'm going to wear the MAGA hat so that I don't get attacked.
Yeah.
They're gonna love you, dude.
I'm going to wear the MAGA hat that you got me.
They'll love you
Because of the hat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right,
Of course.
okay.
If you're MAGA, it's like your friend. Your friend.
Yeah, so
Your
we're
ally.
gonna be there, just to find out more information. Because I'm curious, what did China do to the South Korean elections? And
So they're saying that there was interference in the general election so they could get the majority in parliament to flip all these things that Yoon was trying to do, essentially making him a lame duck and canceling all the charges against whatever the dude.
Lee Jae-myung?
Yeah, it's like the conservatives take is that they hate him. This guy's like a total dirty criminal. Da, 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 da.
Right.
And then the others are like, Yoon is a bad guy. Da, da, da. So it's just narrative.
It almost kind of seems like they can't deal with the fact that Yoon's a piece of shit, so this is like their way of coping. You know what I mean? They're like, it's clearly not his fault.
Like when I look at Yoon, I'm just
if someone else interfered. It's not because he's a piece of shit.
I mean, the same thing happened with Park Geun-hye. The same people protested in defense of Park Geun-hye.
Oh yeah, they said she was innocent or something.
she was pretty China friendly though. I thought no. Or
Well, I mean,
did I get fake news? I
whatever
don't
their
know.
talking point is, my point is like these people will say whatever that comes out of their ass to just in defense of these
Yeah.
presidents. I mean, yeah.
But anyway,
Korean people are known for saving face.
Yeah.
Like, they love saving face. You know what I mean?
anyway, Saturday, Young and I will be there. I don't know. David might go. I don't know. He's thinking about it.
You want to go? Hey, you guys want to go
you-
to the
you can go
track?
too
I'm gonna
if
be
you
at the
like.
track, Paris.
What, on Saturday?
Yeah, wow. In the morning, I have to. I'm gonna come back by 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna do a Source Mall tour after.
After.
Yeah.
After.
After the protest.
Yeah, so we're gonna after 2, right?
Okay, yeah.
I gotta be at the track until 2. I gotta race
You got to be there until what time?
until 2. No, until 12. I'm gonna leave at 12. Get there by 2.
Cool. All right.
So you'll see my dirt bike.
All right. Anyway, next, so you can catch me and Young there asking questions.
Maybe I'll do a wheelie.
Why don't you do it as you pass by the crowd and tell them something?
You know how my son did that? He was passing by a Kamala Harris protest. I mean, not protest, Kamala Harris rally on the PCH. And he did a wheelie for 2 blocks across the PCH and got pulled over by the cops.
Oh, shit.
He got the bike impounded.
How old is your son?
14.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's a very 14-year-old thing to do.
You know, the
I think
apple.
I'm a
was it
bad
the
influence.
Apple.
Doesn't fall far from the tree, is it?
No, I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid.
One bad apple
No,
spoils the bunch.
why do you have to say bad apple? Why don't you just say like one
That's the
good
only-
apple?
That's the
like,
only
you know?
apple euphemism I know. One bad apple spoils the bunch.
Damn,
All right,
man.
next story. Majority of Korean Americans support ending birthright citizenship. I saw this
interesting.
article in Korea Daily.
That's what I was saying.
Now, it showed that was it 82% feel this way.
And it's because of
But-
what it said.
Then I looked into it.
all these-
93% of the survey participants were over the age of 40. It was like 40, 50, 60, 70. So I don't know if it's
Yeah, I was just going to say,
completely
with these
accurate.
polls, you got to look at exactly
Yeah,
who
right.
they asked.
It must be way over than 40 because it doesn't make any sense. They do realize that none of them would be here then. Right?
I would say at least close to 50% of them were over the age of 60, actually.
Yeah, that
Probably.
makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
So
Because 40 is still millennial, and there's no way millennials are that uneducated.
So this just has exactly to do with that. You know, the fact that they're getting citizenships here and not going to the military. That's probably the main reason that these guys feel that way.
Yeah, anyway.
Me personally, I don't give a shit
But it's like, why do they even care?
because they're
I think like Korean
because they
people-
went to the army and
Well, that's what I
these
mean.
guys aren't going. That's what it is.
Korean people, especially the older people, have this like such like this like
Yeah. No, yeah, I
chip
agree
on
with
their
that.
shoulder.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, it's like that, you know, that whole boomer thing. It's like, when I was your age, I walked 7 miles to school. It's like,
It's
right.
well-
and a burger was also a
Well,
penny, so
compared
shut
to
the
like
fuck
the
up.
Yoosung-jin thing, you know, he doesn't go to the army and then he becomes completely banned for life, you know?
Right.
So that's how big of an issue the military service is for them. So if it's like if you're there, you'll understand that, oh shit, this is not something that you want to fuck around with over there, you know?
Right. So here's some criticism.
But it's like
Let's
such a
see.
bootlicker thing to do. It's like, why don't you focus on like us ending the war?
I agree. Okay, I agree. I agree. You're right.
Like
You're
they're
right.
like focusing on like themselves. You know, they make it sound like it's about other things, but it's not. It's always about themselves. It's
Well,
like
but
this, like,
you know, when you're like the 국방부 or the military, then you need soldiers to do that, and you need every headcount that you can get. And when people are finding a loophole to get out of it, you know, that's a problem for you if you are the 국방부.
But then, like, I also then question the parenting, because it's like if you're focused so much on yourselves and like everyone else should have to pay the same thing as you, then clearly you're not one of those parents who are like, my child deserves better.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So it's
I
like,
agree.
no wonder our parents are shitty.
No, but so it's the thing of like personally, if you have a son, you don't want to send him to the army. You know, you know that he's wasting time, right?
Yeah.
So why not pull him out? You know, why not be sneaky? It's that sentiment, the human sentiment that
Right.
fucks everything up.
Anyway, next topic. Koreatown news, LA Koreatown. So there was a project that was apparently started in 2008, but finally after 17 years, it's going to start. It's the LA Koreatown Gateway Project. Here it is. It's going to be an arch-shaped LED gateway. It's going to be
I know
installed
what
next
that
to
is.
the Tower Chung at Olympic and Normandy.
That's pretty cool, looking.
So there it is right there.
It's LED.
Wait, that's all it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at night it looks awesome.
No, no. I just, but why was it put on hold?
There was no organization in charge or something, apparently, and now I think it's the Hwarang Youth Foundation. You know, Howard Park, Park Yun-suk. I think he's involved in this now. Anyway, it has a $3 million budget, and they're going to try to complete it by the Korean Festival this year, which will probably be around September.
That was $3 million.
It has a $3 million budget.
You know, speaking of Korean American construction, you guys know where the Korean American Association is by Olympic and Western?
I
You
know
mean
what that is, but I
the
don't-
Korean
I
American
don't-
Federation of Los Angeles?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Han인회.
Yeah, Hanina, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a giant new apartment building being constructed right behind it. That land was supposed to be a community center for Korean Americans in LA. And it was Hanina that proposed it, but we needed money from the consulate. The consulate said no.
What?
So it just went to some apartment building.
You know,
But can you imagine how nice it would have been for like 할머니,
Oh, that's crazy
할아버지s?
because those buildings are supposedly supposed to set aside a certain amount of money and acreage for outdoor things. So,
You mean Quimby Fund stuff?
yeah, the Quimby Fund stuff.
Can I ask you a
which we
question?
talked
Do
about
you
here.
see maybe like Korean like developments kind of coming to a halt in the Koreatown area, or just not really pursuing it because of the increase in gentrification? And I guess some Koreans are being kind of pushed out because of the rise in rent and stuff.
I think
so,
that's been going on for
Well, I
a
got
while
pushed
now.
out. I got pushed out a long time
while.
ago.
I mean, no. So are we seeing sort
I mean,
of like?
I never assumed that any of the developments happening in Koreatown were Korean. I just always assumed they're.
So maybe the
they're white
consulate,
people.
like maybe the consulate, maybe they might even be thinking about moving somewhere else to Orange County, maybe for example.
I think they're gonna stay in LA because I don't think they have a problem with that. It's just like, yeah, it was Moon Jae-in's administration that said no,
Oh, never mind.
and that was just so terrible. Because my sister was working there as a clerk, and can you just imagine though how nice it would have been for like
This building here.
older, yeah, that was supposed to be our community center for like old people, children, library.
Yeah, because they don't really have anywhere to go. In
They-
fact,
they don't.
I went to a meeting at this one like business center building, and for some reason, walking in, the whole downstairs cafeteria area was just 할머니's and
Yeah.
할아버지's eating food and playing bingo, and I was like,
Yeah, they don't have
"Why
anywhere
are
to
you
go.
in this business building?" I was like, "Why
Yeah.
isn't there a center?"
Yeah,
pretty
I mean, you
sad,
guys go to
yeah.
like Plaza or K-KTP or like Galleria,
Right,
and they're just
right,
staying
right.
there all day.
Oh,
They don't have anywhere else to go.
That was my mom.
Oh, really?
When she was visiting, she was like, "Can you drop me off Koreatown Plaza?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Why?"
Yeah.
She was like, "That's where me and my friends are gonna meet up."
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "Why?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, this sucks. Yeah, because I used to see the Korean elders at the McDonald's on 7th and Western a lot.
they kicked him out of that too, right?
Playing, was it Paduk or whatever?
Did they give him like a time limit or something because people were staying, or was that in New
That
York?
was. I remember they did that in New York and the one on Wilshire Normandy. The McDonald's that
Yeah.
used to be there.
Yeah.
Which is now, was it Bon Shabu?
Yeah, because you got these old dudes like that are coming in at like 7 a.m. or whatever. They buy one Americano and they're there until 12 o'clock. You
Yeah.
know, just taking over seats. So it kind of became an issue.
There does need to be places for like seniors to hang out. And,
I agree.
We do need more. Yeah, because what are they gonna? You expect them to just sit at home all day?
Yeah, and that's the consulate's job. Who's gonna care about Koreans here if not the South Korean government?
No, you know
I
what?
mean, but also like the South Korean government doesn't take care of the
Even
elderly
their
in
own people.
Korea.
No,
So,
they don't take care of nothing.
They
I
don't,
think
they
they.
don't.
I'm sorry, but I think they came to 등쳐먹어 the Korean people over here. Koreans made Ktown. You know,
Yeah.
they came later.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that project will happen, and we're gonna have some cool LED lights soon. After 17 years. All right.
I mean, they didn't have LED lights like 17 years ago.
I mean, we'll have this LED light. Maybe they're waiting for the tech. I
Or
don't
like
know.
a hologram or something.
well, I mean, it worked out. It worked out. Let's
Dang,
just say it
$3
worked
million
out.
could set up a small little park
Yeah.
for those elderly people.
I really think that'd be really
That's a
nice.
shame.
That would be really nice.
Now we
that
got
would
lights.
be.
Those
that, I
lights
think
aren't
that's
going to
what-
do shit. In fact, I'm going to.
I mean, it'd be nice if, like, you know, some of the real estate companies, like, for example, the wonderful land right in front of, you know, Radio Korea, if they could convert that into like a place for old people to hang out in. These people are the ones that really gave to the economy in the past, you know?
But I was just joking when I said that. But someone's going to fuck those lights up, and it's going to be $3 million for nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
I was kidding, but as I said, I was like,
No, it's
but
reality.
someone
It's
else
LA.
will,
It's
someone
LA.
else
It's
will.
gonna happen.
All right. Next story. North Korea is open for tourism again. People have been, you know, touring there.
Last one.
Can
And,
Korean nationals go? Still, Korean nationals.
Korean
still
nationals
can't
cannot go.
Well, no, they can go. It's just they can't come back.
What?
South Korean citizens, like North Korea, does not forbid South Koreans from coming.
They can't visit. They
No,
just.
but the South Korean government prevents South Koreans from going, right?
Exactly, but it's the South Korean government that prevents them from going. North
Oh,
Korea says
okay,
if you
okay.
want to come, you can come.
Oh, okay. So they let him go after, right?
But South Korea was not. It's illegal for them to go. Yeah, they're gonna go to prison once they come back.
But Russians have been touring in North Korea as they have
my
in the
dream.
past. But North Korea last year saw 881 tourists in 2024.
Wow, that was it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Check out this photo. Here's
Is that all of them?
that's some of them. But it's more than the pre-pandemic levels. It's about double. 2019 there was 406. About the same in 2018, and in 2017 there was only 200. So it's actually increased by 4 times
That's crazy.
over the last 7 years or so. So maybe next year we'll see 1,000. Who knows?
That's a lot of white people.
Yeah, I'm down to go. I want to try
Yeah.
the mandu and the naengmyeon there.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
next story. I've had the naengmyeon there.
Is it good?
I don't know. I think I've had better here, but
Better here.
Pyongyang
Where?
name is like supposedly not as like.
I love Pyongyang naengmyeon.
Oh, you like it?
Ulmite
Okay.
as well as Piltongmyeonok. Those are two of my favorite
Okay,
places
okay.
over there. It's very mingminghae, right?
Right. It's not like super.
Yeah, but the noodles are
Yeah.
they usually cut easier. They're not as like
Okay,
stretchy.
I
I'm
see.
sorry. They're not as like stretchy and like
Yeah.
you know as like hamungnaengmyeon.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not as like strong as hamungnaengmyeon.
I think their famous naengmyeon place there is called Morangak.
Morangak is awesome too.
That
That's in Seoul.
massive restaurant.
Yeah, in North Korea, yeah, in Pyongyang.
I went and had some North Korean food in China.
Do they
Okay.
make it from scratch?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah, dude. No, it's like all old school.
Well,
way.
because most places
they make
don't.
the myeon.
Oh, okay.
Like even in Korea.
No, these
Yeah.
are like the legit.
I mean, that's like North
they
Korea's
only
like
do
number
naengmyeon.
one food. So I
Like-
think they probably put some effort into
I
it.
think there's like
generations.
one place in LA that makes their own naengmyeon noodles.
Really?
Who? Where? Which one? I want to go.
I forget. I have it.
No.
I have it saved on my
You
phone.
can't say that.
I've been
That's
looking
not-
for.
I know it. I just don't know it off the top
I've
of my
been
head.
looking for good naengmyeon in LA, but I have not yet to find. I'm like, dude, Ulmite should come here and make a naengmyeon chip, dude. It would just like rock, dude.
So you don't like Yuchun?
Huh? No, I've never tried it. I'd like to go.
Yuchun's
but
Oh,
good.
Yucha's pretty good.
Yuchun's
Really?
good. yeah,
Is
Yuchun's
it
good.
Hama or is it?
I pretty
is it
much only
pi-
eat pibing naengmyeon, but the
Yeah.
pibing naengmyeon's really good.
Do
Pibing
they
is
have
good. Yeah,
like
I've had
naengmyeon,
both.
like as in like you know
I
the
think they do.
skate? You know,
Yeah.
They have mulnaengmyeon and I don't know if they have the skate.
I want the skate, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like someplace I know has.
Yeah, I know for a fact one place. I've been there.
They don't
in
have that
Ktown.
like sakin, you know, the one that stinks like piss and ammonia. Have you ever tried that?
Oh, hongo.
Yeah, 홍어회. I love it, dude. Like it stank, like stank, stank like a
Yeah,
restroom.
Anyway, next story. Korean American attorney sentenced to prison for $3 million fraud. So this guy, his name's Michael Hyun Lee, 51, was sentenced to 4 years and 6 months in prison for wire fraud for stealing. So he'd get his clients to deposit their real estate transaction proceeds into his escrow account, and then he'd use the money for gambling at the casino and his own restaurant and maybe who knows what else. So anyway, I couldn't find a picture of him, but he's another Michael. He's Korean American, and you know he was screwing over other Koreans.
It's usually how it works, though. There's always Koreans screwing over Koreans.
I
you know?
guess Yeah, because they're going to trust you more, right?
Right, yeah.
In America.
dog
and,
eat dog. I mean, it's
yeah. Anyway, I saw also from the Korea Daily, there were some student journalists who wrote some pieces, and one of them is
That's cute.
Are Korean cafes changing LA's coffee scene? And that was by, which student here? It was by Sora Ju, Ju Sora. And basically,
what is that?
according to 10th grader Sora
It's the
Ju,
corn
so
latte.
she refers to the rising influence of...
Corn latte.
I've never.
It's a thing in Korea, though.
Yeah, it's really big.
Anyway, she refers to the rising influence of Korean-inspired cafes in LA, such as Haru Cake in Ktown and Camel Coffee in Los Feliz. I haven't been to either of those places. But noting their Korean flavors like mugwort injeolmi cake, suk injeolmi cake,
Yeah.
sweet potato latte, and the susu latte, which is susu for oksusu. That's the corn,
Oh, that's a cute name.
some kind of corn cream. I don't know what
A
that
lot
is.
of these go viral on social media.
Yeah.
I think right now, you know how matcha became sort of a common thing amongst white people? So I think that matcha is kind of opening up more doors for more exotic flavors, like,
Like,
don't
like
you
corn,
think? I mean,
like corn latte.
That's
For
weird,
white
dude.
people, yeah.
I mean, how about asparagus latte?
Oh, that sounds nasty.
Broccoli
is that a
latte.
thing?
I don't know. Cauliflower
sounds
latte.
nasty, bro.
I don't know. You never try it.
How about yakwa latte?
Yeah, baby. Just grind it in there.
Yeah, but corn milk is actually a thing, though.
And asparagus milk is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's try
like
something new.
they even make like corn ice cream, which is delicious.
Right.
Yeah.
Corn ice cream.
All right.
Asparagus ice cream.
And then last story before we get into our main
Actually, like
stories.
asparagus pea smell.
ChatGPT.
It's always
All
like a
right.
pleasant surprise afterwards. You're
What's a
like, oh
pleasant
yeah, I
surprise?
forgot I
When you
ate
pee
asparagus.
after asparagus, or
Yeah.
like broccoli or something.
When you pee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Well,
asparagus
yeah,
pea
it
smell.
smells.
I actually like it. I mean, not like I want to smell like it, but every time I smell it, I'm always like, oh yeah, I forgot I ate asparagus, and it's like this fun little thing, you know?
No, it's just
What-
when it
what
comes
does it
out of
smell
someone
like?
else, it doesn't smell
because
good.
the thing, if you
No,
eat
no,
asparagus,
I
your
mean,
pee
it's,
smells.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's
I
like
know, but
smelling
like,
your
I
own
don't-
poo.
I
you
have
know?
no idea.
I don't have like a thing with it.
I don't know what it smells like because I don't eat
Is
asparagus.
it like,
It doesn't happen with everyone,
does it smell like a...
but it happens with most people.
Just try it. Have a bunch of asparagus today and go pee.
I hear that if you eat a bunch of pineapple,
Nope, I think that's proven.
Like a-
different tube.
A what?
Wait, never mind. Okay, never mind. All right. So, there was a boy who was having like chronic pain symptoms. And like after 3 years,
Oh, wow.
the boy had gone to like 17 different doctors. And the mother just went to ChatGPT and put in all the information. And here, put it up. A boy saw 17 doctors over 3 years for chronic pain. ChatGPT found the diagnosis. And it was confirmed by a neurosurgeon, and the surgery was performed.
So what was it?
So it seems, it was tethered cord syndrome. I don't know what that is. I don't think most doctors know either.
Sounds painful.
So that's
though.
why we had to rely on AI. So I think AI, this is just the beginning. AI will soon be able to, might be
Yeah.
able to fix all of us and perform surgeries on us and everything.
No, yeah.
I've seen them AI performing surgery on like a kernel of corn, removing this the skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Those little tiny incisions.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty amazing.
Doctors also suck.
Yeah, I agree. I really agree. I
mean,
I have the worst experience with doctors
I
here.
mean, once you meet people who've become doctors, sometimes you're like, oh. Well, I mean, like if you think about it, a lot of the people who are like legacies and stuff, like they become doctors. Like I know a kid who has a master's because his dad was a professor and died on campus.
Oh wow.
And this kid is dumb as rocks. He's like possibly one of the most brainless people you'll ever meet. And he has a master's degree. It doesn't mean shit. Like I literally went to the ER 3 times because I kept waking up. My foot was all fucked up. And 3 fucking doctors, like work at the hospital, told me that I was spraining my leg in my sleep. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? They were all white men, by the way.
Yeah.
I finally go back and I finally see this like Indian female doctor. And within seconds, she's like, you have gout.
You gotta go to Indians.
And I was
Wow.
like, what? I was like, all these 3 other doctors told me that I was like twisting my leg in my sleep and spraining it. And she's like, no, you have gout. She's like, obviously we're gonna run tests to make sure. But she's like, I'm 99% sure you have gout. And I was
Wow.
like, what's your name and then your direct phone number?
Yeah.
Please? I was like, I only want to see you ever
Yeah.
again.
It seemed like that's very irresponsible for doctors to, say, "Oh, you spraining your leg in your sleep." Which is total horseshit.
Literally the one I was like, I mean, I do twist and turn a lot. He was like, yeah, do you sleep with covers? He's like, you're probably just spraining in your sleep. I was like,
What kind of a diagnosis is that? I mean, who are you to say what's happening and to say that it's sprain when you really don't have any evidence that it's sprain?
Yeah. Anyway, what?
A minor.
No, that's later. Oh, shit. Gotta fuck him up. What? I'm gonna do my stuff.
Something.
No,
File or something.
trying to turn the chord, and it's probably
A minor.
okay.
But the thing is, like when you see like live feeds and stuff from like bars and stuff all across, everyone is rocking that part. Everyone, right? I think Drake should just like disappear seriously right now.
Right. So we were just rapping a few, bars from the Kendrick Lamar song. Was it Not Like Us? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. He had a whole
They
list
not
of
like
songs.
us.
and
They not
it was-
like us.
You know the message, right? I don't really know the message, but I really liked it.
Well, he calls Drake, "You a fucking colonizer," right?
Yeah.
And then Kendrick Lamar.
he calls him worse than that. He calls him a
And then they had
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson, coming out as Uncle Sam.
Wait. So here we got at the Super Bowl. Was this the halftime show?
Yeah.
So Kendrick Lamar came out during the halftime show with Sam Jackson as Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Well, so from my understanding, I saw some of it, but I don't understand it to the fullest. But it's basically about Black American history, from my understanding. And then it kind of led up to the Drake thing, and then Serena Williams came out, did the Crip walk over there.
Wow,
Apparently,
Serena Williams.
she had a relationship with Drake. Apparently, so she came out, and
Which I thought was weird.
well, she wants to diss Drake. I mean,
But she's married now.
but still,
Married to a
I
white
guess.
guy.
Yeah.
I guess
But,
white
like-
guy's okay.
Yeah, but like,
He's
I
okay
mean,
with it.
coming out
for
to
all intents and purposes, so is Drake.
A
So,
white guy?
I mean, I'm not saying that the black community does not claim him from what I've heard. And read
Drake has a
and saw.
Jewish white mother.
Oh, really?
And have you seen the guy rap?
Dude, he's pretty dope though.
I don't really know
he's
his
got good
songs.
sounds. He's got a good. You can't say that. You can't take that away.
All
from
I
him.
saw was a meme once of Drake, and it shows a picture of him like in a microphone, like this.
Oh, yeah.
And the meme said something like, "There's no Drake song that requires this much energy."
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Drake's just well produced.
Yeah,
But it has
very
nothing
well
to do
produced.
with Drake.
Very well produced.
It has nothing to
That's-
do with his Jewish heritage. right?
Everyone knows Drake is really Wheelchair Jimmy.
But does he write his own tracks? I mean, I'm
Arguably.
sure he would have to, right? I mean, to be up there.
Who knows?
Anyways,
Doesn't
but
have
you
to.
like Kendrick Lamar. You said you
During
love
the
him.
beef, there was a lot coming out stating that like Drake's tracks had like 4, 5, 6,
Yeah,
7
ghost
writers on it.
writers and stuff like that. So apparently, like they became close, and Kendrick
Which is
Lamar
crazy that you
found-
pay someone to write those whack ass lyrics. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I became more of a fan.
You became more of a fan. What
Yeah.
did you know about this? I just started seeing little clips and
I
things.
did, but my thoughts on Kendrick Lamar has always been like, I think he wants to be this like political spokesperson for the black community.
Nah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't want to upset anyone, but I think, especially the past year, if you're not using your platform to talk about Palestine, but you're talking, that just shows me like how the extent of your analysis and your understanding of like U.S. politics. You know what I mean?
And when he uses words like colonizer in his rap.
Yeah, so you can't take an anti-imperialist tone but not talk about the biggest shit happening right now, and also the Universal is obviously has like huge Zionists like board members, the owners also huge
Haim
Zionists.
Saban.
Yeah. And
Haim.
not only that, but he has
Haim.
deleted pro-Palestine comments on his Instagram post as well before.
Wait, Kendrick Lamar deleted pro-Palestine comments?
Yeah.
Damn,
I mean, but celebrities do that shit all the time. So that's my point. Like, it's not like you're blind. I know you're not deaf. I know you're not blind. So like, you can't pretend to be this like politically awoke person who cares about these things. But when it comes to like actual imperialism and colonizing happening right now, you're like, I sleep. You know what I mean? Like, I can't respect that.
Arguably, though, the black community, they have their own fight that they have to focus on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying that they can't or shouldn't.
Yeah.
But if someone was to make an argument for a whole demographic of people who aren't here to defend themselves.
Oops. Okay. All right. So anyway, here's some tweets. Let's see. Low Key, who is a rapper.
You're right.
He's talked a lot of, because there was a guy who went out with a Sudan and Gaza, Palestine fight, right?
Yeah, they kicked him off.
Yeah,
right?
he got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not pressing charges.
They're not?
No,
That's good.
because
So-
he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So
He was a part of the crew.
Oh, he was a part of
he
the
was.
He wasn't trespassing.
No.
So then Kendrick Lamar is low key, like not directly, but just throwing it in there.
I don't think
Is
it
that a
was.
political
I don't know if he did
I
that.
don't think it was planned, but the person was one of the dancers and
Yeah.
was
Oh, he was one of the dancers.
was allowed to be there.
So rapper Low-Key, who's been on the Piers Morgan show a lot over the last
deniability.
year
Right,
and a
he
half or
was.
so,
Yeah.
he
British,
says,
UK, right?
Yeah, UK rapper. He goes, and I know how he talks. An unknown element of this is that Universal, the label both Kendrick Lamar and Drake are signed to, has a director named Chaim Saban. He's a former Israeli soldier, raised hundreds of millions for the Israeli military, and is credited with writing Biden's script on Israel.
Wait, so
You talk
then
just like him.
maybe Kendrick Lamar isn't allowed to speak on that issue on the side of
I mean,
Palestine,
most
so he just
likely.
threw that in
If-
there,
if-
and
if-
he's an
if-
ultimate genius.
If
then.
Mr. Saban says don't do it, then you don't do it. And also, what else is there?
don't
Here's
know.
another thing I saw. It says, a black
That's
man...
an inside job then.
A black man with a Palestinian flag with Gaza and Sudan written on it, being tackled by frantic security guards during the year's biggest night of Americana pageantry, mixed with the commodification of black culture. LOL, the U.S. in a nutshell, the imagery is profound. Another one. Of course, he was dragged off by security, and Kendrick said nothing. Can't keep rapping about the man at the Grammys and Super Bowl halftime shows if you actually had any intention on using your platform to stand up to the man. This sounds like what you were talking
No,
about.
but unless he snuck it in there.
I don't
and didn't want anyone to
Why
know.
do it now though?
But that's the thing, though, is
Silent
Super
Bowl.
all year.
But that's,
Super Bowl.
But that's the thing too, though, is that like not everyone can focus on everything. Is my stance. You know what I mean? Just like not everyone can know everything about everything. It's like there's multiple fights, and I think just because you aren't in one fight doesn't mean that you're not.
I think he stuck it in
I
there.
agree, but like it's just okay from an agent's perspective, right? I'm not gonna say what's wrong or right, but when I look at the type of fighting, the struggle that let's say the Black Panther Party did compared to what Kendrick Lamar supposedly is doing,
Yeah, but Kendrick Lamar is one person. Black Panther was a whole party of people.
right? No, but I'm just saying their platform, the things that they would say out loud,
For sure.
like when they said we're fighting the man, compared to when, if Kendrick, I don't know if he ever said that, but if he's saying I'm fighting the man, I feel like, I don't know if that's true, but I feel like that's peak liberalism. Like that kind of behavior, I feel like it's peak liberalism.
What
Like
about- what about
pretending
Snoop
like
Dogg?
you're, standing up for something until
with-
it gets to a
he's with
certain
MAGA
point,
now,
and then you
huh?
shut up.
Yeah. Peak capitalism, that was it.
Right. So anyway, that's that on Kendrick Lamar. I didn't really think much of it, although I was thinking in the last few months, like, it's interesting how this guy is so even a few months ago, I was thinking, like, this guy's blowing up all over the place. LeBron James is dancing to the song, and they're even doing the lines, the A minor thing and all that. And I thought, wow, this guy's just really blowing up just suddenly, like out of nowhere because of this rap battle. And I was wondering, like, oh, shouldn't he talk about Palestine? He's talking about colonizer. And anyway, he's been in the back of my mind.
Like Macklemore. Macklemore was huge on Palestine, and I'm sure he lost many deals.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. Probably because he's not being blown up, right?
He was famous for
He's
a
a white
song.
guy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him, yeah. And then I saw the Super Bowl thing. I'm like, oh, cool, he's at the Super Bowl. I didn't think much of it until I saw the tweet. I'm like, you know what? That's true. Then I asked you, you said the same thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, but even in his halftime performance, there was a lot. There was a lot of history. Like, for instance, want to know why they picked Samuel L. Jackson to play Uncle Sam? Because he was like a huge.
His mom was a Panther. Member.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
isn't he
but
very
Sam,
critical of America?
But Sam Jackson himself was huge into politics when he was younger. In fact, in college, he kidnapped Martin Luther King Jr.'s father.
Oh my God.
And basically, like, held him not for
Dude,
ransom.
he is
but,
scary.
but
He's
with,
as scary as he
but with like
looks.
demands and stuff. So like the whole point was like this person who then did all this stuff, who also played the role that he played in Django.
Yeah.
Is now playing Uncle Sam. So it was supposed to be this like thing. But I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I personally think that, like, for instance, but like, because like that's the thing too is that like a lot of people have been vocal about Palestine, but like 80% of those people haven't said shit about Sudan or the Congo. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that their fight for what's happening in Gaza isn't right or what they're doing isn't honorable. But like, not everyone can fight every fight. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel Kendrick could have said one thing at least in the last year. Has he?
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
I mean, he's universal. You can't.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got absolutely fired.
But anyway, on to our last story of the day. USAID. Now,
What I
it's
found,
the United States Agency for International Development. Now, let's watch this video. You know, Trump wants to shut down USAID, but let's watch this video talking about some stuff. It's from an account called Friends of USAID. It's not too long, so let's just check it out.
Today, we seek to move beyond the accomplishments of the past to establish the principle that all the people are entitled to a decent way of life.
Let us not forget that each child saved, each refugee housed, each disease prevented brings us closer to peace, closer to freedom, closer to dignity.
That is why we look to the future not with fear, but with hope.
Foreign aid is a deal we can't afford to lose, according to the Friends of USAID. Very controversial thing going on. Let me do a quick rundown.
it's
So,
it's so ironic for the arm of a U.S. federal government to post videos of children and say "Save the children."
yeah, right.
That's so ironic.
So let me give the both sides in America, the liberal and conservative take. So liberals generally are pro-USAID because it goes for food assistance, medical aid, you know, for example, HIV and AIDS treatment, vaccinations, etc., disaster relief, you know, earthquakes, floods, wars, education, you know, building schools, training teachers, development, infrastructure, clean water, things like that, and supporting democracy and human rights, which is, you know, the most important thing, right? They see it as a moral obligation to help struggling countries and believes that this strengthens U.S. global influence in a positive way, right? So that's the liberal stance. Mm-hmm. Now, conservatives, I watched a bunch of like Fox videos today, you know, just to understand how they're thinking. Conservatives say it's a waste of U.S. taxpayer money. It's going to corrupt foreign governments, funding questionable projects such as gender studies in Pakistan, LGBTQ rights in Africa, climate change, etc., and acts as a tool for leftist and socialist policies in foreign nations. So they think charity should come from private organizations and that money should be spent on domestic issues like homelessness and veterans rather than overseas aid. So essentially, conservatives see it as a wasteful leftist agency. Liberals see it as a humanitarian necessity. What do you think about that, Young, as a conservative?
You know how like there's NGOs and there's a lot of I guess nonprofit organizations that will take donations and for a cause, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times those donations end up being what do you call it? Kind of a way to collect paychecks for everyone, and a very small percentage goes to help the people. I think that's the concern that conservatives are reflecting, and they think that a lot of conservatives, the take is that a lot of this money is being used for other means. So I don't know what's true. I don't know what's false. I know that USAID has done a lot in the past as well, but it is true that some organizations do become corrupt over the processes. But I think you have to prove it. You have to prove the corruption and be transparent about it before shutting down things. That's my take on it.
Okay, cool. Any take on this, Ed? No? Okay. So here's Bethany Allen, I think Ibrahim. She is married to, I believe, Pakistani or something like that. She once said that she had a dream that her husband was under attack or something by Trumpists or whatever, and she was going to use her blonde hair to shield him. Something crazy like that.
Oh wow.
Too much Marvel movies.
Anyway,
so much imagery and some symbolism.
this is what I remember about
It's not
Bethany.
real.
Is using her blonde hair to shield her husband.
White savior.
That sounds pretty.
That's so,
I'll use my blonde and blue
Anyway.
eyes to shoot out lasers.
if she actually said that, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
That is absolutely hilarious.
Bethany Allen, what is it? Blonde.
And she's supposed to be a conservative?
I don't know. I've never heard of her.
Let me see what she said about the blonde
It's
hair.
pretty blonde hair. I mean, it's ash blonde, kind of.
Okay, let me see if I can. I think this guy has it. A week after Trump, this was in 2020. The week after Trump was elected, I dreamed that my blonde hair was so long that it touched the ground, and I used it to protect and cover and hide and protect the body of my brown husband. So this is
the
Bethany
grossest thing
Allen
I've ever heard.
Ibrahimian. All right,
I don't get it. Okay, so she's against Trump.
she's a Western liberal. Okay,
What is a Western liberal? Ah, never mind.
A liberal.
they're
in the
not
West.
they're not leftists. America might call her a communist, but in the world, she's considered a right winger.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an American liberal. Okay, so anyway, she says because of this U.S. funding freezing, the entire global ecosystem of China nonprofits is facing an extinction event.
Wait, what?
You know, because
What?
Wait, what does Chinese nonprofits have to do with USAID?
because a lot of their funding comes from USAID. So in many cases, these organizations
Wait, in
provide
China?
in China. So
in China or Chinese? Ecosystem.
no, in China.
Ecosystem of. But she makes it sound like nonprofits belonging to China.
No. I think nonprofits related to promoting human rights and
In
democracy
China.
in China.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made it sound like.
Yeah, that was really confusing.
No, that was very poorly worded. Yeah.
Yeah, so
she went to
goes-
Yale, right?
Huh?
I saw Yale on her thing.
Oh, Yale. Okay. You know, I've met some Ivy Leaguers. They're not that smart. Not any more than anyone else, I think.
Not the white ones that got in through legacy.
I met a Korean guy who went to Harvard. He was pretty smart, but not that smart. I was like, I kind of expected more. Hope you're not watching, by the way. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, but they could have been really smart in one thing,
Right.
which would grant you admission to
He's
Harvard.
into financial stuff. I
Yeah,
don't
so
know.
you could be like a savant in finances.
She keeps saying China nonprofits. What? That's so confusing. What?
So, but she says here, it is difficult and time-consuming to do the work that proves Beijing is lying. Tools that allow us to uncover the flaws of China's own system and the actual struggles Chinese people face directly support the goals, security, and resilience of democratic governments. Without the work that China nonprofits do, it will be much harder to show that China's governance model is deeply flawed. If we can no longer prove that, it becomes much harder to understand why democracies are worth fighting for in the first place. You dumb bitch.
Wow. So she's kind of arguing for USAID, not even with on a humanitarian.
No, she
talking
wants to
point.
prove that China's bad. And without the money, we cannot prove China's bad.
Does she know that the USAID money isn't what's doing that?
Well, okay. So what I do know about this whole thing, which is so weird, is that so Elon Musk tweeted like, you guys know NED, NED,
National Endowment for Democracy.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
is
yeah.
also going to go down, which I thought was so weird. But NED is a direct like right wing regime change, state funded like U.S. government funded organization, which to my understanding is part of USAID. Elon Musk went from saying to Venezuela, we will coup wherever we want. So because he wanted like the rare
That was in
minerals,
2020.
right?
Yeah.
But now he's like net is bad. So this guy's
Yeah.
I don't know what he's on, but it's insane that this person pointed out kind of like the dark side of U.S.
Right.
aid while trying to make it into like a moral thing. I think this person's not that smart.
Yeah, and
I
here,
think that's my conclusion.
yeah,
Why
and
would you
here-
say that?
and here's a comment says it's hilarious that she's admitting that it takes an entire cottage industry of propagandists with millions of dollars to make it look like China isn't winning 24/7. So anyway, yeah, we got that. Cyrus Jansen. Okay, he wrote a little too much here. We don't have time. This guy, you know how if you said anything about China that wasn't like directly attacking them or whatever, people would say you're a CCP spy or 50 Cent Army, right? Well, it turns out the real 50 Cent Army is those who are talking shit about China. So, what is it? Now here they are publicly begging for U.S. government funding to continue their quote-unquote independent work, admitting they can't exist without the very state backing that they were baselessly attacking others for. The projection is almost comical, and it confirms that those who scream the loudest about something are often exactly what they claim to be fighting against. All right, what else? Even Doug posted, was it Ken Klippenstein for the Intercept Media? He pointed out that Ken Klippenstein got $208,000 in 2023 from USAID.
So Doug is pointing out the illicit or weird,
right,
strange paper trails, right?
And Intercept Media is supposed to be one of those like alternative, like leftist kind of things.
I mean, they even did an expose on
Dude, they show you how the
North Korean
EIN.
defectors. So I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
But it seems like, what is this? All these other things, like all
It's
this
just like
money.
comical because Trump spent more than all of this combined to go to the Super Bowl. So like, what are we even doing?
Yeah.
Like,
So I mean,
and if
that
conservatives,
would, if that was true, it would be illegal, though, right? I mean, it
What
would
is?
be illegal, or it would be questionable.
To
It
do
would
what?
be to give to that much money to an independent journalist.
but that's
No,
what's been happening.
It's not illegal, but it just shows that, all right, they do good things, but I'll get into it later, but there's other things going on involved with the good
okay.
stuff. Speaking of Bolivia, because you brought him up, I remember when he made that tweet. That was like November 2020.
Wasn't Venezuela not Bolivia? Oh, was it Bolivia?
Bolivia.
It was Bolivia, not Venezuela.
So here's Evo Morales, who I believe is a communist because he gifted the Pope, remember
Right,
like a
like the-
crucifix,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it looked
I
like
remember, I
the
remember.
hammer and sickle.
Hammers- yeah.
So here's what Evo Morales said in 2013.
No comprende.
He's goaded.
Se vamos a ir de Bolivia. Entonces, el hermano canciller comunicar inmediatamente a la embajada de Estados Unidos. Nunca más USAID que va manipulando, que va utilizando a nuestros hermanos dirigentes, que va usando a algunos compañeros de base con limosna.
So yeah, that's Evo Morales in 2013. What else? Here's another one. Here's this person says this is what USAID was for. No one should more understand the world is a better place without it. Why? Because this is in 2014. The U.S. secretly created Cuban Twitter to stir unrest and undermine government. So started Zunzuneo, a social network built on texts, in hope it could be used to organize smart mobs to trigger a Cuban spring, just like we had the Arab Spring in 2011. And that would have been, I mean, again, to destabilize and cause,
And there was
shit
that
stirring.
small failed color revolution in Cuba a couple of years ago.
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
Right, there was. Yeah. So that's that. And then even Daniel Dumbrell, Canadian, who lives in China now, he goes, because the USAID also funded BBC partially. Now you know the US government funded the BBC. The
Adrian
BBC went on
Zenz.
to fund Adrian Zenz. Now, Adrian Zenz was the guy who was behind the
Whole thing.
Uyghur genocide. I looked up how to properly say Uyghur. In fact, even Adrian admitted he told BBC there wasn't sufficient evidence, but they pushed him harder to come up with something. I don't know how, maybe with more money? So even Adrian Zenz himself said, the BBC commissioned my research. They asked the first time whether it could be done. I said, no, too hard, too little evidence. They asked again. I said, let me see what I can find. Well, the resulting findings now total 17,000 words and 163 footnotes.
They just say that shit out loud, don't they?
Yeah. So even the BBC made a statement on USAID funding. They're unhappy about the funding cut. What else we got here? Chen Wei-ha, Chinese journalist. I think he's in Brussels. Anyway, he's a EU bureau chief, so he's somewhere in Europe. He goes, if you have questions why BBC reporters in China keep smearing China all these years and talking bullshit, you might find answers now. They're all bought by CIA and MI6. He's talking about Stephen McDonnell. This guy was BBC. What was it? BBC, was it 3 million? Oh, is that it? Anyway. Stephen McDonnell would say shit on Twitter. I don't remember specifics, but I remember that face and hair. What else? Even Asia Society, Kevin Rudd explicitly brought up social credit scores in one of his Asia Society panels. You know, I think we noticed, like most Chinese, so they don't even know about it. But this guy from the Asia Society, the president and CEO of the Asia Society, talked about it, and he only gets paid, $984,000 from USAID in 2022.
But you know, obviously, this isn't like Trump's talking point. You know what I mean? That we're like destabilizing and we're doing regime change. I mean, his whole thing was like, oh, why help others like when we need help ourselves or whatever. But that's my thing. Is like if conservatives are so concerned about not sending money abroad and using it on Americans, why are they so silent about sending money to Israel?
Right.
Which is where the majority of the money went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That makes no sense to me.
You know, like when I talk to some people about that, it has direct relations to the Bible.
Oh.
Like it's like Israel is mentioned in the Bible.
The red heifers. Anyway.
The red heifers. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Michael might be there on Saturday. I saw a video of him there one week, so he
As a
might.
participant
Do
or
you think
as-
do you think he'll? He may be back. We're going to try to talk
Of
to him.
course, we have to have an interview.
All right, let me run through the rest of these because we don't have much time. So very quickly, cuts in American aid are crippling groups promoting rights in China. That's according to The Economist magazine. Also, Juan Guaido, who claimed to be the president of Venezuela because they were trying to overthrow Maduro, he got $98 million. What else? 9 out of 10 Ukrainian media outlets were funded by
Wow.
USAID.
So this is how America meddles with foreign issues.
Yes. So Andy Borham says independent media in Russia and Ukraine lose their funding with USAID freeze. Independent media lose their funding from the U.S. government. All right.
I knew
What
this all
else?
about Ned, but I didn't know USAID was kind of like the grandpa of Ned. I had no idea.
Right. Yeah. So here's a video with Tucker Carlson where even Putin talked about how U.S. propaganda is the best in the world, or you can't go against it. It's too difficult. So I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm not going to play it.
I think I would agree. I think I would, yeah.
According to apparently USAID financed 6,200 journalists, over 700 news outlets. I mean, that's going to have a lot of those 6,200 journalists influence a lot of minds, and those minds also influence a lot of minds through their network and people they tell and share their stories with. So 6,200 essentially paid trolls, potentially. Over 700 news outlets. Like, is this the democracy of spreading whatever? So there's that. And then what is this? WikiLeaks in a 2010 email circulated to Hillary and Jake Sullivan, Cheryl Mills says, basically U.S. aid is nothing more than a slush fund for the State Department.
Wow.
Boom. All right. And that's...
What was that?
No. That's the end of the show. I'm going to show that later.
Okay.
So that's it on USAID. So let me just, before I end that on USAID, I looked up the communist perspective on USAID because we heard the liberal and conservative perspective, but, the communists oppose USAID. Why? They see it as an arm of U.S. foreign policy, not to help others, but expand U.S. influence under the guise of aid. They believe U.S. aid works to undermine leftist governments by funding pro-Western opposition. Also, that U.S. aid forces developing nations into market-driven reforms, benefiting U.S. corporations at the expense of local economies. Aid also comes with strings attached, such as privatization of industries, opening markets to U.S. companies, and economic policies that favor Western business interests. U.S. aid has a history of being tied to CIA operations and U.S. military strategy. Their humanitarian work may be a cover for political influence, and their food, medical, and disaster relief is just a PR strategy to make it look benevolent. They believe international aid should be handled by neutral organizations like the United Nations. I don't know if that's really neutral.
No.
But it should be handled by neutral organizations, but not the U.S. government. So again, as conservatives see USAID as a wasteful leftist agency, and liberals see it as humanitarian necessity, communists see it as a Trojan horse for American capitalism and imperialism.
Yeah, but all of those things are true, though. All of those things are true.
Like you're saying what everyone's saying.
Yeah. Like the USA does provide a lot of humanitarian aid.
I'm curious though.
But it's just like churches, right? Like people,
I agree.
whenever you do anything good, there's going to be evil people. And like think about who runs our government.
Yes.
Evil people
I agree
are
with
going
that.
to then
I agree
use
with
that,
that.
humanitarian aid to do their ulterior motives.
And then the people-
which does include
And the people who
influencing
know
governments.
about that
Yeah.
are going to abuse that even more.
Right.
Like
there,
the Clintons,
but there
for
are a
example.
lot of people in USAID who do want to do good.
Oh, I'm sure.
But then it's the politicians who then come in
I'm sure.
and use the legs to do it because
Yeah.
Because they can.
Yeah.
But in the office of the USAID, majority of them probably are people who are
Yeah.
wanting to do good
And they
humanitarian
probably
work.
believe they are.
No, they are.
I
but
don't think during orientation they're like, by the way, guys, this is actually.
They're not doing that.
It's the politicians who then use the name of USA to do, just
That's
like
why
priests.
that's why they always put who they know in there. They always try to stick the person that they know or who they're related to or
Yeah.
who they've worked with.
I'm sure the people working there and doing the good things are good people, and they don't realize that they're just puppets
Pawns.
in a bigger or
Yeah.
pawns in a bigger thing where.
Like for instance, in 2023, USAID's number one, like their top spending went to Ukraine, which
Yeah.
obviously was partially humanitarian, partially political. But then it went to like Ethiopia, Jordan, Congo, Somalia, Yemen.
So it's all these things going
Nigeria.
out, and they're sneaking it under, just like the way certain bills are passed, sneaking a bill under with it, a batch or something.
Right. Yeah.
It is how it is,
So I wonder how this will affect Radio Free Asia. I hope
yeah.
it shuts
My
down
favorite radio channel.
RFA for good. And how will this affect Yeonmi Park? Will she still be able to make her
5 bags.
make her big
She'll
bucks?
still have plenty of money for Botox, and I've seen so much like tune-ups that she did on her face. I'm just like, yeah,
Tune-ups.
it's freaking
Tune-ups.
capitalism right there. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude.
No, I like that look sometimes.
What, her face doesn't move.
You
dude.
like that look
It's
sometimes, don't you?
shinier than a
The
waxed
plastic doll look?
Ferrari,
You like
dude.
that?
The plastic doll look?
Oh.
Doesn't
their
everybody?
own.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
just kidding. Anyway,
To each their own.
anyway, so and Link,
She married
Liberty
a
in
white
North
guy, right?
Korea. I wonder if they get money from USAID. Will Link be able to continue? Because they had a really fancy gala at the Line Hotel a few years ago.
I mean, the founder got arrested in Spain.
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah,
breaking,
yeah,
for
that
breaking
guy,
into
that guy,
the
yeah.
DPRK embassy.
yeah. Well, the other founder's PK, right?
Adrian Hong.
Yeah. Anyway, and also maybe USAID shutting down. Maybe this will convince, or Korean conservatives will stop hating on China once. They'll stop getting the news about China, all that negative shit, right? Anyway.
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure it plays a
So
part.
it's funny how, the conservatives here are going to be against USAID, not realizing that it has shaped a lot of their views about China. So, I don't think even Trump knows about the real purpose of USAID or.
Yeah, I was going to say,
But
what are
seem
his
to-
intentions?
He doesn't seem to understand or grasp
A lot of things.
things.
Yeah, a lot of things.
So
Yeah. But anyway, that's it for us. And before we go, we're going to have our weekly clip of Hank Yoo.
Super Sport.
I'm
Super Sport.
I'm still working on an interview with him.
Yeah,
I'm
Stormtrooper, one of
compiling
those
a bunch of
SS.
questions.
But
Yeah.
why do we need a weekly clip of Hank Yoo?
Just
to show you how crazy and how nutcase he is.
it'll help us get views. All right, it's just straight up.
He's being
He's
honest.
straight
That was
up,
very
man.
honest answer.
Straight up, like
All right, so here's Hank. He's got
Wait,
an
is that a-
SS.
oh my.
He's got the swastika with an Israel flag being burned.
Holy shit.
What does he say here? Let's check it out.
Also, can we just? I don't think we needed to hear that.
I think he did a better Sig Heil than Elon Musk. Elon kind of, he didn't do it all the way. Hank has no fear.
Elon did do it all the way.
what?
Three
He was
times.
like-
Loser.
Three times. Yeah.
He did it like a 90%. Hank went like 110%.
No, Elon, I think, went more. Elon, like, overextended.
No,
Dude, he
Elon
spoke
went
the
like
lingo,
this,
dude.
right? Like-
he spoke
like
the
this.
dude,
He did like
he spoke the lingo,
Yeah,
dude.
but he should have done. I'm not going to do it. But
Actually, I don't know the proper, the step one to the
I think
what
it's like
is
a
it? I don't-
straight out like I think it's
is
like
it this? Like,
I
don't-
think so because when I saw it in movie,
I mean, the regimented part of it, yes, but that's all it is. It just goes from
you
your
have to
left,
click your heels too.
from your left
Oh.
ear.
and by the way, I think Ed mentioned this before. It was a Roman salute. We used to do this in the United States for the Pledge of Allegiance. We used to go like this.
really?
No, we didn't. I never did.
No,
what
no,
school did you go
no,
to?
no, not me, but before my time
Roman salute.
for a pledge of.
We always did it
allegiance.
like this.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance.
Yeah, see, and even in the United States here, we used to do the Roman salute.
Holy
Is this
crap.
before World War II or
I think it ended probably around
World War II?
Let's see when it ended.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good thing to stop doing that,
Well, I mean, it's like the same thing even with the
1942.
1942.
1942, during World War II.
People were freaking out because there was like this similar symbols all over
Buddhist symbol.
Korea, where they were
Korea.
seeing it. And people were like,
Buddhist.
"Oh my God, Koreans are Nazis!" And it's like, no, it's actually the
it's
opposite
backwards.
way.
They took
and
it
it
from
was
that.
before
Right,
Nazis
it was
came up
way
with
before,
it. Yeah.
hundreds of years
Yeah.
before.
All right. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to Ktown Social Club. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, leave comments, share it with all your friends. Congrats to Philly, whatever they are.
Yeah, birds.
And, congrats to Young, because Young was happy about that. And Mr. Eugene Chung, please join us someday.
Yeah, man.
And thanks to David Yoon for joining us. And, Young and I will be in Buena Park next week, and we'll hopefully have that footage for you next week. So we'll see you next time, guys. Peace.
I got a key.
Cool. Oh, I have to pee so bad. Too much.
Yeah.